Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Coming to you live from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, it's time! 4 quarters in the AFC Championship game. Standing on the visitor side, coming in with a record of 13 wins and 3 losses. Wearing red, white, and blue, they are the Buffalo Bills! Their opponents, standing on the home side, coming in with a record of 14 wins with just 2 losses. They are the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions of the world. They are the Kansas City Chiefs. But in all seriousness, folks, this is a huge, huge game, and I thought it deserved nothing but a grand opening. That is what I wanted to do for you guys. I worked really hard on that. It took a couple of takes, actually, because I didn't quite get it right. That is my best Bruce Buffer impersonation. If you don't know who Bruce Buffer is, he is the announcer for the UFC. If you don't know, go check him out on YouTube after you watch this. Tell me how I did. This game is a battle of the Titans. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the AFC are going to go head to head for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Yes, I said that right. The Buffalo Bills are playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes on Kansas City. Like I said, the battle of the Titans. Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City had 15 games this season, threw for 4,740 yards, 38 touchdowns, and just 6 interceptions. Had 316 yards per game average, rushed for 308 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Had a 66% completion percentage. On the other side, Josh Allen, the other MVP candidate in this game, played 16 games, 4,544 yards, 37 touchdowns against 10 picks, had 421 yards and 8 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. You're talking about 2 of the absolute best in the game today playing for an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, and one of the guys that is the absolute best in the game today is the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. We have waited decades for this. There are Bills Mafia fans who don't know what a winning team looks like. There are fans of the Buffalo Bills that hadn't seen the playoffs at all until Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane came here. They have never seen this level of success. I don't remember this level of success because the last time the Bills were this good, I was 5. This should be an incredibly fun game, and I'm going to tell you why. Obviously, both of these teams like to throw the ball a lot, and why wouldn't they? They have 2 of the best quarterbacks in the game. The Chiefs threw the ball 630 times total in the regular season. That ranked them 3rd. The Buffalo Bills threw for 596 attempts. That ranks them 11th in the NFL. So both teams throw the ball a lot. And again, why wouldn't they? They both have all-star quarterbacks. Both teams were near the top of the league in yards per attempt. Buffalo is tied for 4th overall with 8 yards per attempt, and Kansas City was tied for 5th with 7.9 yards per attempt. Now, this takes into account the entire team and not just Allen and Mahomes. Both teams were also in the top 5 in passing plays over 20 yards. The Chiefs were second in the NFL with 69. So they obviously like to go deep and make the big splash plays. The Buffalo Bills can't let that happen. And the Bills, no slouches themselves, sit 4th in the NFL in plays over 20 yards with 66 passing plays over 20 yards. Both teams are also similar on offense in terms of yards per carry overall. Kansas City rushes for 4.5 yards per carry, and the Bills rushed for 4.2 yards per carry in the regular season. Both of these teams are incredibly talented. They match up so well offensively against each other. It's going to be an absolute battle, in my opinion. I think it's going to be an incredible battle. As the days go on, I'm starting to get more and more and more nervous. I have not had this level of anxiety. I'm getting chest pains thinking about the game and how anxious I'm getting. But it was really fun to put this show together because I really enjoyed the opening and I just had a really good time with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Man, it was really fun to do. Honestly, it was really fun to do. Going to the defenses. Both defenses are also very similar. This game is like mirror images of each other. It's crazy. I didn't think the teams were this close. It's seriously like looking in a mirror. They're also both very similar against the pass on defense. Buffalo allowed 3,726 yards, which ranked them 13th in yards against passing in the NFL. And they also allowed 6.9 yards per attempt, which ranked them 10th in the NFL. KC sat at 14th, and they gave up 3,779 yards for the season, 7.1 yards per attempt, which puts them 13th. These teams, like I just said, are absolute mirror images of each other. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. The last year's Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, the 2020 Buffalo Bills, they're mirror images of each other this season. These teams are so good. And the Bills are a Hail Mary away from having the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs. Chew on that one for a minute. The Buffalo Bills are one Hail Mary away from having the same record as the Super Bowl favorite Kansas City Chiefs. Neither team was great at getting to the quarterback. The QBs, they didn't create a lot of pressure. Neither team created a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. However, Buffalo has a slight edge in this category. Buffalo had 38 sacks on opposing quarterbacks, which ranked them 16th. Kansas City had just 32 sacks, which means they don't get to the quarterback a lot, and neither do the Bills. Kansas City ranks 19th in sacks. This game is going to be, I can't explain how crazy good this game could be. I understand why it is the night game. I get it. This game should be absolute nothing but fireworks from start to finish. Both defenses aren't that great, and both offenses are cooking. Both offenses are tremendous, and both offenses have quarterbacks that can beat you in a multitude of ways. Patrick Mahomes is known less for his running ability than Josh Allen, but everybody knows about Patrick Mahomes' passing ability. Patrick Mahomes is insanely good and has been since he started in the NFL. Now, obviously, he had some time to learn and grow behind a very, very good quarterback in Alex Smith, and that for sure helped him immensely. Josh Allen didn't have that benefit. The quarterbacks in Josh Allen's room were A.J. McCarron and Nathan Peterman. So all the progress that Josh Allen has gotten, the heights that Josh Allen has gotten himself to, it had nothing to do with a veteran quarterback showing him how to do it. A veteran quarterback in the room showing him how to do it. Josh Allen did this by himself. Now, that doesn't take anything away from Patrick Mahomes. He is simply incredible, and he has a tremendous head coach in Andy Reid. Andy Reid is so good. The play last week on fourth down to get to clinch the game with Chad Henne, their backup quarterback, in on fourth down to beat the Cleveland Browns on 4th and 1. Talk about balls, man. Talk about big, fat, hairy balls, man. 4th and 1. They're only down, I believe, by a field goal. I know it's a one-possession game, and he goes forward on 4th and 1 with his backup quarterback in their territory, in their own territory. If they give that ball back, the Browns have an opportunity to win the game. To win the game. That's incredible. That is so gutsy. Now, he could have been a real heel if that didn't work out, but it worked out tremendously for Kansas City, and he looks like an absolute genius. He looks like he wants a Super Bowl and that he's playing to win. He's not playing to not lose. And that's how you have to win. That's how you have to play in the playoffs to be a Super Bowl champion. I hope Sean McDermott and his staff continue that step on their throats mentality so that the Buffalo Bills have an opportunity to move on to the Super Bowl for the first time in more than 2 decades. Now, I looked up the weather for this game because that is going to play an important factor. The last time the Bills and the Chiefs played, it was in Buffalo, and it was horrendous weather. It was a monsoon, and the winds were absolutely crazy. Kansas City ran all over the Bills. I think that was part of the game plan to not let Kansas City beat them deep, not let them beat them with any big plays. But Kansas City ran like double the plays that the Bills did. The weather, according to weather.com in this game for Sunday, as I looked them up today, which is Wednesday, supposed to be 40 degrees around kickoff time with a 40% chance of rain all day and winds around 10 miles an hour. That's not bad weather, folks. We might see an absolute air show in the AFC Championship game. It's going to be so much fun. Now let's get to some of the keys to victory, in my opinion. The Bills so far have done everything in terms of keys to victory that I have laid out for them to get to this point. Hopefully I'm not too far off base with this one either. The first key to victory is if Mahomes is fully healthy, you're not going to stop him. The only thing you have to try to do is contain him. You have to not let him destroy you. Get pressure with the front four and make Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable. He can scramble. He's got tons of ability. But when you get pressure on a quarterback, they don't have time to sit in the pocket. They don't have time to pick your secondary apart. And your secondary doesn't have to cover guys like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce for long periods of time because that's going to wear them out, and it's just not going to happen. So the Bills have to try to contain Patrick Mahomes and get pressure on him and knock him around early and often. The second one is don't let Travis Kelce beat you. He is a matchup nightmare. However, the Bills have a linebacker in Matt Milano that can run with Travis Kelce. He can kind of nullify that matchup nightmare that is posed to a lot of other teams. That's going to be a huge matchup to watch all game long. Travis Kelce is coming off the best season for a tight end statistically ever. So you can't let their biggest weapon destroy you all game long. My next one is force turnovers. The more turnovers you force, the less opportunities Patrick Mahomes has to shred your defense. Even if you don't score on the turnovers, that is a possession taken away and time taken away, the ball taken away from Patrick Mahomes. You take it out of his hands. The last key to victory in this one is score, 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 score. Both QBs are dialed in, as I mentioned earlier in the episode. And if both offenses execute and the weather holds up, there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. A lot. So the Bills must score in order to have an actual opportunity to go to the Super Bowl in this game. And I can't fathom the fact that I am sitting here talking about the Bills potentially going to the Super Bowl, man. This is crazy. This is so crazy. I'm doing a podcast about the Bills potentially going to the Super Bowl. I'm like a giddy little kid. This is fun. Man, this is fun. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am with all this. In the end, my prediction for the game, Bills fans are not going to like. I think if Patrick Mahomes is healthy and 100%, I think the Bills lose a close game in this one. I think they lose a shootout, 41-38 to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I really believe that. I think the Bills can absolutely compete. I think the Bills have a real opportunity to win this game. But I think the Chiefs, with Patrick Mahomes being 100%, just a little too much for the Buffalo Bills defense to handle. I'm not saying that the Bills won't score points. I think Mahomes and the offense will be too much for the Bills defense to handle, and I think they're going to eke out another victory by 3 points. That's going to do it for this episode of Sports Talk Buffalo. If you like what you're hearing, tell your friends, tell your family. They can hear me on any of the major podcasting websites, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and of course, on Anchor. If video podcasts are more their style, they can go right on over to YouTube, type in Sports Talk Buffalo. Remember to like and subscribe, ring that notification bell so that they know when a new episode comes out or when a new video comes out. I might start putting more videos out, not just podcasts, on the channel. So make sure you guys look out for that. Once again, I cannot believe I'm sitting here talking about the Bills potentially going to the Super Bowl. I'm having so much fun. I hope you guys are having fun. Have a fantastic week, and let's go Buffalo.